some other great Americans have to say.
We're the Marbleheaders out of Marblehead, Massachusetts. We were General Washington's Navy. Some even call us the first Navy of the United States. We were responsible for rowing General Washington across the Delaware here on Christmas of 1776, but also we rowed him in New Jersey as well as in Long Island, Brooklyn.
Used by Washington to transport most of his troops. These replicas are 44 and 40 foot in length. They weigh 6,500 and 6,000 pounds respectively. The Durham boats were so named since they carried pig iron down the river from Durham Furnace. The boats are rowed by 8 men using 15-foot oars. Each boat has a captain who's in charge of his unit and serves as a helmsman who guides the 25-foot steering sweep seen projecting from the back of the craft.
On the Christmas night of 1776, we rowed across the Delaware along with 50 horses, 25 cannons, and over 2,000 men. We marched upon Trenton, in which we surprised the Hessians. And the Hessians were German mercenaries that were hired by the British to fight the American force. Surprised the Hessians, who happened having a holiday celebration, and beat them in a skirmish, and then took many of them as prisoners, and marched back from Trenton up to the New Jersey side, rowed back across with 2,000 men, 25 cannons, 50 horses, as well as our Hessian prisoners, then marched another 5 miles up into Newtown, where we camped.
We are wherever Washington is. We're his guard the whole time. Without doubt, the most important battle of the entire revolution. If this did not happen, the revolution probably would have fallen apart. It had just about a week left.
Well, I've been a reenactor for 17 years, and it's over the last 7 or 8 years I've seen my predecessors take over, become General of the Army, and I've worked my way up from private to colonel to eventually general. And I just think that it's important to portray this in a fairly realistic fashion, and I wanted to make sure that this was less than a pageant and more than a reenactment. People should learn from seeing this.
Boy Scouts.
Boy Scouts?
42 years ago.
I certainly did. I wrote some dialogue with my officers, which is the first time that pretty much that's been done. We were interacting a little bit more in front of the public. I think the public sometimes would like to see it and learn a little bit. I tried to throw in information into my speech that they could draw some information from. Washington was not a great public speaker. He didn't address the troops. In this rainstorm, you're not going to address troops and drag this along. So this was something that's usually special for here, but I also want to throw in some information that people can learn from about why we're here, where we're going, and what we're doing here right now.
A fairly good knowledge of George Washington, his life as a civilian prior to the Revolutionary War, and as also the general of the First American Army.
By the left, wheel.
Look out, look to me.
Front. That's front. The left wheel.
There's about a half dozen of the reenactors that portray Washington or have or tried to, and varying backgrounds, varying educational backgrounds, knowledge backgrounds, things like that. So everybody, a lot of them are reenactors, so they have a pretty good idea. But they're all well versed in Washington.
We brush up on history. We are reenactors from the Carolinas up to Canada, this group. So we're constantly doing different battles of the Revolution, and we learn the history as we go. We're a teaching organization.
I play a Marblehead boatman from Marblehead, Massachusetts, and I'm the bow pole man. The bow is the front of the boat. And my job is throw the pole in and let the captain know how much water we have underneath of us. And when we get over to the Jersey side, hold the boat in against the shore, having the pole on my left-hand side, keeping the bow of the boat up tight against the shore. Well, I think number one is historic. They're closing all the parks down, in Pennsylvania. And the lady that runs the park system said that everybody thinks their park is the greatest park. And I said, no. See you, Frank. Washington Crossing is the most important park, not only in the state, but in the country, because that's where our freedom started. She never said a word.